Good evening, everybody. Tale of two halves for us. Like, for whatever reason, in the third quarter, we just, I talked to them about just keep it simple. Like, it's something is working. You want to just continue to keep it simple. And ball stuck a little bit. And all of a sudden, they started making shots in the fourth. They were 6 for 9 from three. We were 2 for 7. Couldn't make shots. But to beat teams like this that are really, really good, there has to be a simplicity in your approach and a consistency in your effort and how you play the game. And you don't get bored doing it over and over and over again. And we just let up off the gas. And when you do that against a really good team like that, all of a sudden they go on a run in 37-28 in the third quarter. So,
Doug, building off that, Keon had a really, really solid first half, and then I think just 3 shot attempts in the second half. Asked Keegan about the halftime adjustments, and he said it's not the opposing adjustments, it's more of us. Do you see the same thing, just like what you talked about?
Yeah, it really is. Like, I constantly, like, you give teams credit, obviously, that they make adjustments and they come out and they do certain things, but our ability to be consistent in our approach when we find something that is working or knowing coverages and different things, we just gotta continue to do it. And sometimes it gets difficult, and sometimes you give them credit as well. Tonight, I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, Giannis is an incredible player, so he's going to get calls, he's going to get downhill, he's going to do all of those things. But we had the game and had the ability to close it, and we have to do that.
Doug, you've talked a little bit about kind of the stagnant nature of the offense at times during ends of games and how it's coming from a good place and things like that. I think the players have kind of echoed the same sentiments. You obviously have the personnel to play that type of style at the end of games, but is that what you're wanting to see late, or why do you think that it's getting stagnant if that's not what you're wanting?
I think many times, sometimes the defense blows the play up, and as the shot clock's going down, then you take your time. I think that we have to explore early in the shot clock. And sometimes we're not playing as fast as we need to. And then that allows them to press up. All of a sudden it gets later in the shot clock, and now you become that without even knowing why it happened. We found a rhythm with a step up and collapse the defense, kick it out. We were getting whatever we wanted, and then we had a couple possessions where, for whatever reason, I have to go back and look at it, and whether they pressed up, whatever the case was, all of a sudden we found ourselves in the ability to, you got to either go hard to collapse the defense and spray the ball, and when that happens, you just got to be ready to shoot it. And I will say, like, tonight we got some pretty good looks, and we just didn't knock them down at the same time. So it's easy to look at, stagnant, but, I mean, we were 9 for 38 and 2 for 7 to close. So we make some of those that we normally do make. And, it's a different ball game. So it's not all of what you're saying, because I'll put that ball in those guys' hands and trust them any night of the week, because most times they come through. Tonight, you missed some shots. That's it. I would be more about making sure that we're locked in on defense, coming up with those extra balls, the one that bounced around and they hit the three. Like, those are the things that we want to do, those extra effort plays.
Doug, I know it's difficult to play everybody, but the last 5 minutes you didn't go back to Keon. Was that just about the length and athleticism of LaRavia and Murray matched with your two scorers, or was it something else? No,
it wasn't. And sometimes it just, I wanted to go back to him after a minute, because in the timeout, I believe I can't remember who they went to, but the size had the ability to switch across. So, and then all of a sudden the game started happening, and I wish that I probably would have went back to Keon. But, in those moments, sometimes guys are playing well, sometimes it's size and physicality, and sometimes he'll be the guy, sometimes it'll be Jake. It just depends. Yeah.
Doug, I don't know if it's fully possible to replace a guy like Domas with all the skill set that he has and talent. But that being said, how do you think Jonas has done since then, since Domas has went down, and specifically tonight? How did you evaluate it?
I think Jonas has been spectacular for us, man. He adds a physical presence, his size, protection at the rim. We try to keep him in coverage and not play him outside of the things that we know that he's comfortable in doing, but he has just been a consummate teammate and professional. Like, whatever you need, coach, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is, and like for a coach, like, you can't ask for anything more. He is incredible. I obviously met him in Lithuania and thought he had a nice relationship, but now to coach him, it's like, wow, you're about as good as it gets, brother.
Doug, the race is what it is. You guys are kind of in a dogfight right now. You got a tough schedule and a couple teams breathing down your neck a little bit. Like, how confident are you in this group's ability to kind of persevere and fight through that, and what's that going to take?
It's going to take what I talked about right from the rip. It's going to take keeping it simple. Like, we have a team, we have the ability to win these games. Going down the stretch, I think we have the hardest record, or the hardest or second hardest schedule, depending on where you looked at it from. But like, it doesn't really matter. No one really cares. These are games that we can win, and we should have won, in my opinion, these last two, and we didn't. And that falls on me. So like I said, I'll take it. I'm never blaming our players. I think that they're always trying to play the right way. Does it always go? Does ball always fall? No. But we'll get back to the drawing board and try to figure out a way to beat our next opponent in front of an incredible fan base that bring the juice every single night. So we have to reciprocate that. Appreciate you guys.